Hello students, myself Rakesh Kumar Meena, Assistant Professor at Government College Rajgarh, and today in this video lecture we will cover the remaining parts of the poem Christabel written by H.T. Coleridge. In my previous video lectures we have read that Christabel meets Lady Geraldine in a dark forest at midnight, where he secretly brings her at her castle. And after reaching in Christabel's bedroom, the Lady Geraldine bends down under the lamp and slowly moves her eyes around. She takes a deep breath like a person who shudders at the sight of danger and unfastens the girdle from underneath her breasts. Her silken dress and her underwear fell down to the ground, and now her breast and half her side were fully visible. This sight can be better imagined than described. Further, the poet writes in this poem from line number 255. Here he writes, "Yet Geraldine nor speaks nor stirs. Ah, what a stricken look was hers! Deep from within she seems halfway to lift some weight with sick essay. And eyes the maid and six delay, the suddenly as one defied, collects herself in scorn and pride, and lay down by the maiden's side. And in her arms the maid she took, oh well a day." And the word meanings of these lines are: nor speaks nor stirs means Geraldine did not speak, nor did she move in the least. Next, stricken means the smitten. Geraldine was evil, but even she felt the pricks of conscience that made her hesitate to work evil on an innocent lady. Next, deep from within means as if some great mental struggle was going on within Geraldine's mind. Sick essay means weak attempt. Eyes the maid means look at Christabel. Six delay means hesitates. Defied means challenged. And the explanation of these lines. In these lines, the poet says, after undressing herself before Christabel, Lady Geraldine did not speak, nor did she move in the least. It seems as if the conflict in her conscience has paralyzed her for a while. Thou sees an evil spirit, yet she feels the pricks of conscience that makes her agitate to work evil on a chaste and innocent lady who has done her so much good. She seems to lift with a weak attempt the heavy load from off her breast. In other words, she appears to overcome her weakness and mental conflict. She fixes her eyes on Christabel for a while. but still she hesitates to do her harm. Then suddenly, the evil in her triumph. She feels the pricks of her conscience as a challenge to her evil nature and pride. She therefore shake off her weakness, gathers her strength, and lay down by Christabel's side. Then she takes Christabel in her arms. This makes the poet sympathize with Christabel, and he says, "Oh, what a great sorrow!" And next to it, the poet writes at line number 265 in this poem. And with a low voice and doleful look, these words did say, "In the touch of this bosom there worked a spell, which is Lord of thy utterance, Christabel. Thou knowest tonight, and wilt know tomorrow, this mark of my shame, this seal of my sorrow. But vainly thou warest, for this is alone in thy power to declare, that in the dim forest thou heardest a low mourning, and foundest a bright lady, surpassingly fair, and didst bring her home with thee in love and in charity, to shield her and shelter her from the damp air." And some difficult word meanings are: doleful means sad, mournful. Is Lord of thy utterance means will control your power of speech. This shame means the mark of disgrace. Warest means fight against it. And now the explanation of these lines. In these lines, Geraldine took Christabel in her arms and explained her the significance of her bosom and the mark on it. Poet says, after taking Christabel in her arms, Geraldine with a dismal look and in a low voice speak to her as follows: "There is a charm in the touch of my bosom, Christabel. It will cast a spell on your speech, and you will not be able to speak a word of what has happened. This night you will know about this mark of my shame and sorrow, which you see on my breast. You will remember it in future. But if you try to talk about it to others, you will not be able to do so. You will only be able to say that in the dark forest you heard a low mourning sound and found there a lady of exceptional beauty, whom you brought home due to love and kindness, in order to protect her from the bad weather." The poet says, she will have no power to say anything more, as how she was embraced in bed by Geraldine, or whatever else she might have heard or seen at that time. And with this, it is the end of this video lecture. In my next video, we will cover the conclusion part of this poem. Thank you.